She pounded on my door like she owned the place, waving a piece of paper in my face. "You're trespassing on HOA property. Step outside right now or I'll have you arrested." Before I could respond, two men in cheap uniforms marched up behind her. They weren't real cops. Those dollar store badges and untucked shirts gave it away instantly. But Karen stood tall like she was leading a federal raid. One of the men barked, "Sir, step outside now." "You're under investigation." I just stared. This was my land, bought, paid for, and fully documented. She had no idea. Karen smirked, whispering just loud enough for me to hear. "We'll scare him, tow his truck, and lock his gate. He'll beg us for mercy by tomorrow." My blood boiled, but I didn't move. I knew her game, and I knew something she didn't. She thought I was just another quiet neighbor she could push around. What she didn't know was who actually lived here. One of the fake cops shoved a paper against my chest. It was laughable. Misspelled words, no letterhead, just a cheap printout. "Official HOA order," he said proudly. Karen folded her arms, her eyes sparkling like she'd already won. "Better start packing, sweetheart. You won't last a week here," I didn't argue. I didn't even raise my voice. I simply stepped aside and let the front door swing open. Heavy boots echoed on the floorboards. The real sheriff walked out of my kitchen, badge gleaming in the morning sun. He looked right at the imposters, then at Karen, and said with a calm, razor-sharp tone, "Funny, I don't remember deputizing you." Karen's smile shattered. The two fake cops froze, their badges suddenly looking like toys under the sheriff's glare. Karen stammered, "Oh, officer, thank goodness you're here. This man's trespassing and refusing HOA orders." I called my security detail to... The sheriff cut her off, his voice low and sharp. He took the bogus paper from my chest, glanced at it, and tore it clean in half. "This is fraud. And last I checked, HOA presidents don't get their own police force." Karen's face turned red. She jabbed a finger toward me. "He's lying. He doesn't even own this land. He's squatting. Arrest him already." The sheriff tilted his head, almost amused, and looked at me. "You got your papers handy?" Without a word, I opened a drawer and placed a thick folder on the table. Deeds, maps, everything stamped and signed. He flipped through it, nodding slowly. "Looks solid," he said before turning back to Karen. "So let me get this straight. You brought imposters onto his property, tried to kick him off land he legally owns, and thought no one would notice." The fake cops started backing away, realizing the game was over, but Karen wasn't done. Her voice cracked as she snapped, "This neighborhood is mine to run. He doesn't belong here. People like him never do." The sheriff's eyes narrowed. "People like him?" he repeated, his hand resting near his belt. The room went silent. Karen's words hung in the air like poison. Even the fake cops froze. The sheriff's jaw tightened as he stepped closer. "Dangerous words, lady. Do you even know who you're talking about?" Karen forced a shaky smirk. "Some nobody with a truck in a rundown house. He doesn't belong here. He's lowering property values." The sheriff towered over her. His voice stayed calm, but each word landed like a hammer. "This nobody is a decorated combat veteran. He's earned the right to stand on this soil more than you ever will. And you just trespassed on his land with impersonators." The fake cops panicked. One muttered, We didn't know. She told us it was legal work." They tore off their fake badges and bolted down the driveway like scared kids. Karen's confidence crumbled. She stuttered, This is a mistake. I was just trying to enforce order." "You can't prove anything." The sheriff reached into his vest and pulled out a small black recorder. He pressed a button and Karen's own voice echoed through the speaker. "We'll scare him, tow his truck, and lock his gate. He'll beg us for mercy by tomorrow." Her knees nearly gave out. She glared at me, whispering through clenched teeth, "You set me up." I finally spoke, calm but firm. "No, Karen, you set yourself up." Her face twisted with rage and fear. "You can't use that recording. It's illegal," she shouted. The sheriff clipped the recorder back to his vest. "It was captured on my body cam, ma'am." "Perfectly legal. And now it's evidence," Karen gasped. "Evidence for what?" I was just doing my job." He stepped closer, his voice cutting like glass. "Impersonation of law enforcement. Criminal trespass, harassment, fraud. Need me to keep going?" Karen's voice turned desperate. No, you can't do this. I run this neighborhood. Without me, it falls apart." I couldn't help but laugh. "No, Karen, everyone's just been afraid of you." "Big difference," the sheriff nodded toward her. "Ma'am, you're coming with me." "You can explain yourself to the judge." Karen spun toward the neighbors gathering nearby, shouting, "You all know me. Tell him, I'm in charge here." But the crowd stayed silent. A few shook their heads. One man muttered, "About time someone stopped her." Karen's eyes went wide as her empire of fear collapsed in front of everyone. The sheriff reached for his cuffs. The metal click echoed through the still air as he locked them around her wrists. "This is illegal. You'll regret this. I'll sue the sheriff's department. I'll sue all of you," she screamed, thrashing like a child throwing a tantrum. The sheriff didn't flinch. He guided her to the patrol car. "Ma'am, the only place you're headed is county jail." Neighbors watched in stunned silence, whispering like they were witnessing justice they'd never thought possible. One woman clutched her husband's arm. "She's finally getting what she deserves," she whispered. Another man clapped softly. Karen twisted toward me, her voice dripping with venom. "You think you've won? This isn't over. I'll ruin you somehow." I stepped forward, meeting her eyes. "I didn't fight for this country just to be bullied off my own land. You'll never own me, or this neighborhood." The sheriff opened the car door and pushed her inside. She screamed one last time, "I am the HOA. You need me." The door slammed, cutting her off. The silence that followed was louder than her shouting. The sheriff turned to the neighbors. "She's not the law. And starting today, she's not your problem anymore." For the first time in years, people smiled. Some even patted my back, whispering thank yous. And as the patrol car rolled away, I felt something I hadn't in a long time: freedom. This is part 1. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible HOA Karen stories.